Hello, everybody. Welcome to week one of CE225, entrepreneurship. Are you guys excited? I see some faces I've seen before. There's Roy. I see you, Roy. Bob's Burgers, Peeps in here. So it's fantastic. And some new faces too, which is exciting. I will say, my name is Chef Rachel Rancourt-Hobbs, and I will be your chef instructor in this awesome class that I absolutely love. A little bit about me. I am born and raised in Massachusetts. I actually did not start off in culinary school. I went to school for horses. And then I decided to switch paths. And then I ended up going to culinary school, and from there I traveled all over the place. I've lived all over, and I ended up coming to Colorado to make it my home. Now I've been everything from a baker, pastry chef, line cook, catering chef on site, all the way up to executive chef, general manager, and my husband and I ran a bed and breakfast with an event center for a good 8 years. And then kiddo came along and I switched paths and started teaching. So I taught for 5 years, and then I came to here to start teaching you guys, which is very exciting, and I love it. Now you get to meet my partner in crime, the delightful Chef Jonathan.
Hey guys, you might remember me from a couple blocks ago. I had you in 165, if nowhere else. In case you forgot, I've done a little bit of everything in our field: catering, corporate dining, restaurants, beer bars, fine dining. I've been a little all over the place. I love numbers, but I also really love this class where we get to talk about all kinds of aspects of that business side of things. From your concept summary to funding to marketing to budgets and everything in between. It's kind of a wonderful class where we get to touch on a lot of different really important subjects, whether you're a manager or you're planning on opening up your own business. I really do love this class, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys. Oh yeah, and I'm in Omaha, Nebraska.
Funny enough, Chef Jonathan used to be with me in Colorado, and then he moved to Nebraska, same town and everything. Isn't that great?
Good long while up in northern Colorado. I love northern Colorado.
I know, I love it. Lack of humidity. See this? My hair looks so much better out here. It's fantastic. Every time I go home, it's like, bing, But out here, it's beautiful. So, entrepreneurship. As Chef Jonathan and myself said, we love entrepreneurship. I loved it so much that I just finished my master's in my my concentration was in entrepreneurship. So, absolutely love it. And all the stuff we get to go over in this class is so great because we're going to build your foundation. We're building your foundation for your dream, your concept. We're going to make it a reality. And even if you decide that you don't want to do that dream right now, that you want to hold off and wait a little bit, you will have all of this great information to fall back on. And it will help you throughout your career. And it'll help you as a manager, executive chef. All of this information is going to be extremely useful for you throughout your career, no matter what you decide. So remember, it's a lot of information, but that's why we are here. We're going to go through it together. Think of us as consultants who will go through and guide you through this class, this process. So if you run into issues, what do you think the first thing you should do is?
Reach out to our instructors. Reach out.
Yes, reach out. That's what I'm here for. Like I said, I have a 5-year-old. I enjoy adult conversations all of the time. So please reach out. That's what we're here for, is to help. And we are going to make certain that you understand the knowledge. And if it gets muddy for you, there's any muddy parts where you don't get it, that's what we're here for. That's why you reach out, right? Yes, chef, I'm gonna reach out. Oh, that's so great. I'm so glad to hear it. Yay. I did that one just for you, Roy. So now, first, before we even begin, I'm gonna pull up our class page for you guys, because we are gonna take a look at all of this awesomeness right here. So if you guys notice, we have all this great stuff. April cooking contest is up and running. You guys should do it, especially because I'm the one that's is in charge of it this month. So the little flyers right here. I did a delightful another video. Please watch it, because, you know, I take time to do those videos, but you can just click on that bad boy and ta-da! It's in spring, an excellent time of year. See, I love. Well, and I wanted to do this one because, you know, bed and breakfast. Hello. Eggs are everything. So be certain to get all of that, like, get cooking now and share those pictures. It's going to be great. Then we have our week 1. I did a nice little intro video for you guys. And we have all of these great research materials. You notice that I put first attempt due no later than 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, April 6th. Because part of being an entrepreneur is thinking ahead, getting started. You can't finish anything unless you start it. So get started now. Get into the groove and set up that time frame to make it so that you will understand what your schedule is going to look like and how it's going to best work for this class. Because remember, a big part of being an entrepreneur is research. You have to do a lot of research. And you guys are already in that mode, right? You guys research all the time for class right now, am I right? You guys research, you look up different recipes online, you figure out what part of those recipes you like, what you don't like, and you adjust accordingly. Well, you're already doing those entrepreneurship skills, and now we're gonna hone it in and focus it towards the business side. Isn't that exciting? Yay. And then I will also, hold on, let me share again. I always have slides for you guys. I always have slides. The slides will be right here underneath the, there'll be the live session archive, and right underneath that will be your slides for every live session. I highly suggest like making copies of them, because I put a lot of good information and links in there for you to have as a backup later on. So please take that initiative to make copies of those slides, because they will come in handy for you. Am I right, Chef Jonathan?
Absolutely. They will also be tremendously helpful to your assignments.
Yes. And your assignment is right here, which Chef Jonathan will touch on later on. So, oh, sorry, go ahead, Chef.
Do you mind if I share?
Yeah, please do.
One other quick thing while we're talking about the class page. You guys can see this, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. Makeup assignments. There is a little bit of a change this block, and this is in all the classes. These will close at the end of week 5. So we do know that life happens, that sometimes, you know, maybe you have a trip to the emergency room, God forbid. and life happens and you might miss an assignment. If that does happen, we ask that you get in there and submit your makeup assignment for that week as soon as possible if you miss that deadline. If you miss week 1 and it's next Friday and you're able to do it, just submit that week 1 next Friday in that makeup assignment 1 area, because at the end of week 5, that's going to close and you'll lose that opportunity to make up assignments. The other thing is, with that being said, please do keep us in the loop. We get life happens, and when it does, if we know about it, we can help you through it and figure out how to stay on track with your grades and be successful. If we don't know about it, we don't know about it. We can't do anything. So make sure to really keep us in the loop when things happen.
Sounds good, guys? Yeah, so remember, yes, thank you, Chef Jonathan. Makeup assignments, it's brand spanking new, and it's for all of your classes. All of them. So it's not just ours, all of them. So be prepared for all of your classes to have that happen. But now we get to talk. Oh, yes, Chef Jonathan.
Sorry, that does mean in practical week 11 instead of week 5.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes. Week 11 for practical, week 5 for core. Now, what do you guys think an entrepreneur is? A go-getter, Melanie? Yep. What else?
One that seek knowledge into starting their own profession.
Yeah. I see a leader also. Samantha, yes. What else, guys? Leanne?
Someone who starts their own business and runs their own business.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Someone who works for themselves.
They work for themselves, but they have the desire to have the goal and try to reach it.
Yeah, have the goals and try to reach it. Yeah. Now, what qualities do you think is important to being an entrepreneur?
A leader.
Being a leader, so strong leadership skills. What else?
On timeness. What is that word?
Discipline.
Disciplined. Yep.
Good listener.
Good
Driven.
listener. Yeah.
Driven.
Driven. Communication skills. Thank you, Tiffany. Time management.
Education.
Organization.
Organization. And then, if a recipe doesn't turn out, what do you guys do?
Improvise.
Improvise? What else do you do?
Try it again.
Try it again? Yep. What else?
Being able to toss it if it doesn't work. Get rid of it. Making decisions.
Investigate.
Investigate, make decisions. Yeah. You're doing that research. You're going to problem solve. You're figuring out how to make it work. And an entrepreneur, the biggest thing with an entrepreneur is you are prepared to have your dream, have that come to reality, even though you understand all the risks involved. And you are able to take those risks and make it work around them. Understand what they are and create solutions for it. Right? That's the main part of doing entrepreneurship is problem solving. Like you guys said, problem solving, communication skills, doing the research, all of that stuff is so important because remember, this is your dream. This is your business. No one is going to love it as much as you are. So it's your dream, it's your responsibility, it's your ambition that is going to make it work, right? Now, what if you don't know something? You come to a part where you're stuck. What do you think you should do?
Reach out to somebody who knows.
Look at you, Paul. There's Paul. Hey, Paul. Yes, reach out to somebody who knows. Entrepreneurs do this. They understand where they are strong and where their weaknesses are so that they would be able to hire the right type of people to make this dream happen. And that's a big part of it, is reaching out. Hence why I'm bringing it up again, because you need to reach out to us if you don't understand something, right? And then we can walk you through it. So let me share my delightful slide with you guys that I oh so love making. Oop. I'm gonna move it over here. Can you guys see it still? Oh.
Yep.
Oh wait, hold on. It paused for a sec. Let's try that again. Okay. Being an entrepreneur. This is a delightful cycle of all the stuff that you have to think about when you are looking at being an entrepreneur. And guess what? We get to go over all of it. We're going to go over your financing. We're going to go over your culture, the mentors, like the education. You guys are doing that now, right? Human capital, your labor, your markets, all the rules and regulations around government policy. This is what we get to do for the next 6 weeks. So we get to help you guide you guys to go through all of this great information right here. Isn't that fun and exciting? Are you guys excited about it? I'm excited. Yay! So a key part of being an entrepreneur, as we talked about, is communication. This is one of my favorite little clips right here that I love, where, you know, somebody explained it like this, and it goes through the line of what everybody thinks, and this is really what that person needed, even though they described it like that. This is where having that clear communication and a clear goals of what you want to do is really, really important. And it all begins with your mission statement. So your mission statement is a statement of what your business is going to be all about. What is the purpose of its existence? How is it going to affect you as in the owner, your staff, your employees, your I already said staff and employees, your customers, your community? How is it going to affect everything? And that is part of doing a mission statement, is creating that clear statement of what you want so that you don't end up like this for your business. Does that make sense to people? I'm seeing noddings of yes, which is good. If it doesn't make sense to people watching the live session archive, please let me know and we can go into it in more detail. And then, because if you have a clear goal, I wanted to show this to you guys because this is something you are going to do no matter what. If you are a business owner, if you're a manager, you guys already do this now. It is called Plan, Do, Check, Act. Because you guys do this with, like we talked about with your recipes. You have a recipe, you plan out what you're going to do. You actually carry through, follow through with your recipe. Then you check, did it work? Did it not work? What had to be changed? Do you have to change anything? Then you act, you make those adjustments, and then you try it out all over again, right? You guys already do this now. Now you're just going to implement it for the business side. Does that make sense to people? Have you guys seen yourself doing this already? In real life, I'm seeing yes, yes, which is great because you see, you guys you already have it. We're just going to now take it and implement it into your business. And one thing I also want to bring up with you guys now is how many people have had their dream, had their concept of what they wanted to do? Everybody? So somebody tell me what you wanted your dream to be. Like, what's your dream? Do you want a restaurant? Do you want a food truck? What is it?
Personal chef catering to homes and families.
Personal chef catering to homes and families? Nice. What else? What does everybody else want to do?
Food truck.
Food truck.
A barbecue pit master.
Barbecue pit master. Nice, nice. What else?
I want a mom and pop's diner.
Mom and pop's diner?
Yes.
Nice, nice. Now, Leanne, what did you want?
I'm wanting to do a bakery, but I live in Colorado, so I'm wanting to do edibles.
Ooh, yes. There is definitely a market for it out here. It's like getting in on the ground of like Google.
Yeah.
Out here. So, you guys have thought about this a lot, and it's always been in your head. But now, when you guys go through this class, you have to remember that you have to separate your business from yourself. So whenever you talk about what you want to do, you have to talk about it from the standpoint of the business. Because the business has to be its own entity now. I know it's a really hard thing to do because you think about it all the time. And I even did the same thing where I'd be like, I want to run a bed and breakfast. And in the beginning, it was, I'm going to run a bed and breakfast with a horse show facility, and I'm going to have this, and I'm going to do that. And I kept on saying, And I needed to stop myself from doing that because I needed it to be coming from the business, what the business is going to do, what the business's goals and visions and mission is going to be. So remember, start that now, get that practice in, and believe me, we've all done it. All of us have done it, where we start off being like, this is what I'm going to do, and mine. But now that we're thinking about the business, we have to think of it from the perspective of the business. What is going to be best for the business? Am I right, Chef Jonathan?
Yeah, even as an owner, it can really be helpful when you see yourself as an employee of the business with specific roles and functions to further that business. You're making decisions, but it's all about helping that business to be successful so that your dream is successful. They're related, but separate.
Yes, it is very much related and then separate, because sometimes you'll think, yeah, that person can work like 60-hour shift. That should be fine. They should love this business because this is my business. They should love it as much as I do. But that's coming from a personal, like, you love it versus the actual business and thinking of your staff. And maybe they have, as Ashley does, 5 kids who can't work 60 hours. And she may not want to have, like, it's not her business. So she's not as in love with it as you are. Because for me, I was like, I could live in my place. This is great. This is home. This is what I love. But not all your employees are going to feel like that, right? Because you started it. You put all the risk into it and you created it. So it's your baby, right? This is your baby. So just think of it that way. Now's the time where, that baby is now a teenager. It's 18. It's going off to live on its own. It has to be its own entity now. And it's going to really help you when you guys think about doing your SWOT analysis. Because a SWOT analysis is a fabulous tool that you guys will use, and you can use it for everything. I absolutely love it. But you're going to use it for your business. You can use this for the entire operation. You can use this for your menu. You can use it for a lot of great parts for your marketing, all of that stuff. And it's a tool to start using now because it helps you prepare. The SWOT analysis makes you look and understand the factors in the areas that you are doing absolutely great in. It makes you think about the things that you need to work on and what could be done to make it better, to make it more efficient. And it breaks it down for you. So your strengths and weaknesses, remember, those are going to be your internal. So things such as I put, if you have solid customer service, if you are great at customer service, your business is fabulous, the timing is great, efficiency is like no other, then you're golden. Like, that's a strength. You know that that's your strength. But then you may have a weakness, such as maybe you need more financing. Maybe you thought that a menu option was going to be the best thing ever, and it turned out to not be great at all. And you have to realize that. And that's a weakness. So you have to relook at it, and that way you can make a plan and try to make it better. I think it was Bobby Flay, and maybe you'll know this, Chef. Bobby Flay, he said how he opened up a Mexican restaurant, and he thought that he came up with like the greatest dish, and he was like, we're going to sell 1 million of them, and it completely bombed like no other. But he was so like, this is it. This is going to be the dish. Like, and it just bombed like no other. But he at least had that ability to understand that, yeah, that was a weakness, and now I have to look at that and figure out what I need to do differently. And then your opportunities and your threats, those are those external factors. So do you think you'd have that ability to franchise? Are you at that point when you're thinking about your concept that you're like, yeah, I'm going to go big. We're going to be global. We're going to be going all around the world. We're going to do franchising, or I'm going to just expand. Boom, that's an opportunity. Or my favorite are like those crazy diet crazes. You know, what's the newest one? Is it keto? Is it the keto one? Do you guys know?
Keto.
Yeah,
That's
keto, like those ones. Like gluten, all of those kind of things. Those are always those crazy, like those diet trends that come and go. Will you be able to turn that into an opportunity? Can your menu actually handle that? Would you now be able to market to that target market, to expand your market? If you can, that's awesome, and that's an opportunity. And then we have threats. Oh, sorry, yes?
Vegan.
Vegan, yeah, exactly. Vegan, nut-free, dairy-free, the paleo, all of them, gluten-free. And then we have our threats, and those are things that you don't really have control over. So, for example, you don't have control over your competition, but that what your competition is, then you know you can come up with a plan. You can come up with a plan to be able to work and turn that threat into a potential opportunity. And you can do the same thing with your weaknesses. You can try to turn them into opportunities. For example, you can see that you can try to do a partnership. I did a partnership with my place where we had an organic garden, and I provided the grape leaves. And that was it. What could be potentially a threat, we were able to turn into an opportunity to market and to do a dual market. But it's all different for everybody, right? You can say the same thing about like the construction, which Chef Jonathan and I were talking about, because we know there was massive construction on this place. It's on one street that had the railroad tracks, and that person who was in Loveland, that I can't remember who it was. Yes, Janine, the Mason Corridor. Yes, that 2-year construction that can really turn into a threat for your business. If you have been up and running and it's there, then all of a sudden the city's like, I'm going to do this construction. We're going to do this. And it was 2 years, wasn't it, Chef? Was it, Janine? It was like a 2-year project. Yeah. And what are you going to do? You have to be able to plan for that. And that is what you do. That is the whole point of having that SWOT, is to be able to make that plan. Now, I'm going to share with you guys this delightful hotel that's uber expensive up in Aspen. Ooh, they have accommodations. It's like $1 billion to stay, and it's in Aspen, Colorado. They have a concierge service. They have a pool, jacuzzi, family amenities. They have pet amenities. Isn't that awesome? They have pet amenities. And
How much to stay?
you know, last time I checked, it was like $1,000. Let's find out. A night, or $500 a night. Apologize for that. Yep, $500 or $600 a night. So they have adventure, ski lodge. They have all sorts of fun stuff, right? What do you guys think about this place?
Nice. I'm gonna have to catch it on Groupon.
It has a kitchen on Groupon. Crystal, what did you say? Or Ashley, was that you?
Yeah, I was making a joke. I said I have to catch it on Groupon to get that type of night, but that's nice. That's very upscale, very what is the word that I like to use? Only certain people that would be there, so they would be willing to pay whatever price it is for the menu, the meal. It's nice.
You see, like, ooh, they have the wine. They have a great website, right? I love this website. And then
Very inviting too. It's nice.
yeah, very inviting. Crystal, what is your question?
I was gonna say that I have a home business where I make seasonings and spicy stuff, you know, blend them, and then I sell them at a farmers markets and things like that. So when you were talking about your mission statement and your dreams and all that stuff, it is really important because a lot of things that I've been doing this almost 2 years now. It's a trial and error. Like you said, I try something, it don't work too well, you know. That didn't work. The containers that I started out with, they were too hard to open, so I had to, you know, rethink that and, you know, regroup and redo other things. So sometimes it's a matter of going ahead and making a plan and doing something, and then finding out what works. And then if it doesn't work, you have to shift gears and keep going.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You always just have to keep on going, right? What did Thomas Edison who said it took 1,000 tries? He did 1,000 failed attempts, but it only took 1 try to make it successful. Was it for the light bulb? Is that what he said? I think that was what he said.
He said that he didn't fail 2,000 times. He proved that 2,000 ways it didn't work.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Yes.
And where I live at now is where he was. It's Edison Mall here, and everything, you know, because this is where he was in Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you guys checked out that super cool looking hotel, right? Ooh. What do you think some strengths are going to be for them?
Location.
Why do you think location's important?
Well, it's a popular ski town.
Clientele.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Clientele. Only certain classes would be there. The clientele, the money. I guess I can't think of the level I'm trying to put it on.
So their target market. They have a specific target market, right? All right.
It would also be a strength, wouldn't it?
For what? I'm sorry, say that again, Mary Lou?
The amenities it has, all the little, like the concierge and all that.
Yeah, that's a great strength. Yeah. Now, let's look at some weaknesses. What do you think a weakness is?
Small market. Not everyone can afford to spend a week at that hotel because of the expense.
So,
Exactly, expenses.
expensive rates. I see Matthew. Yeah, seasonal. Yep. Because it's in the mountains. When's going to be in the mountains in Colorado? When do you think the high season is?
Ski season.
Ski season, right.
Yeah.
Winter.
Winter, yeah. And then summertime, it's going to go down, right?
Just out of curiosity, guys, what else happens in the mountains in the winter?
Ooh.
I don't know. I ain't never been
Could be
there.
like snowstorms or
The weather.
weather.
The weather. Yeah, right? Do you avalanches? Yes. Now, what do you think weather is going to be?
Unpredictably cold.
Unpredictably cold. Do you have a control over it?
That would
Threat.
be a threat.
Yeah, so it's going to be a threat. And then I love how Matthew and Janine, you put blizzard and avalanches.
And I like how Mandy said no snow on the slopes too. So on the other side,
Ooh. Yeah. Nice. Now, what do you think another weakness is?
Economy.
Do we have control over the economy?
That's a threat, isn't it?
Yep, that would be a threat.
That's how I did it.
But this is where it can get a little tricky because sometimes when you think it's going to be a weakness, like that's where sometimes some things feel like it's a weakness versus a threat, and that's where it gets a little tricky. That's also where explaining it is very helpful. Am I right, Chef Jonathan?
thank you.
Ooh, homeless population.
Global warming.
Global warming. I like how you said scandal or bad bad
Publicity.
Thank you. Because everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a delightful camera on their cell phone now. Am I right? Millions of people can find out something very quickly because of this right here. So that's where it's extra important to stay on top of it, to stay on top of your policies and your procedures, to make certain you do this type of thing to know what to work on so you don't end up with, say, bad customer service for your establishment. And then the economy, Matthew, you said the homeless population. I don't know if it's actually high there or not. I do not know if it's high there because that's kind of up there. Like that's that gets pretty cold. When it gets cold, it gets cold. So since we're almost close to the threats, what else is considered a threat? We have weather, we have economy, we have animals. Ooh.
You have a tragedy happen there that gets on the internet and gets on the major news networks, and everyone's talking about not going to that resort because of that accident, or you got a serial murderer in the area.
Yeah, because you don't have control. Like, yeah, there's a serial murderer in the area. That's where it's especially important to know these type of factors that could affect your business so that you can come up with a plan for it. What's your like if you're going to be a high-end hotel where you're going to expect celebrities, what's your security for it? What are you going to expect for that stuff?
Also, illnesses or outbreaks of like food poisoning.
Oh, yeah. Like the food recalls. Am I right? Food recalls, that happens all the time. What's the latest one? Was it listeria in some, what was the latest one? It was listeria and something. I can't remember what though, but it's always something, right?
E. coli.
Avocado.
Yeah, E. coli. Yeah. Now, what do you think an opportunity could be for that business?
The location.
How is the location an opportunity?
It would get people that have never been to the mountains the opportunity to see the mountains, per se.
So you could market the location?
Mm-hmm.
Celebrities?
If you get celebrity endorsements? Is that really, do you want to have celebrity endorsements anymore?
No, it depends. No, not even the endorsements, but it's them come and visit that these certain people have came here. So it gives other people the opportunity to say, if they visited, I would like to try this place also.
Yeah, that's that interesting thing too, though, right? Because some celebrities enjoy their privacy. So would they come back if they knew that people, like all the fans knew that they could potentially be there because they stay there every single time they go to Aspen? That's that interesting conversation to think about when you are looking to do it. Those are great. Like, those are always fun and interesting things to consider when you are doing this type of thing, because it starts that conversation. But what do you guys think of? Do you think that they have the ability to partner with anybody up there? They have a restaurant. Do you think they could do any like packages or do partnerships with any of these events?
Sure.
Yeah.
Celebrity thing. Yeah, sure. Different things.
Yeah.
Wouldn't an opportunity also be like destination weddings per se, due to the area it's at?
Yeah, you can definitely expand your market by doing destination weddings, right? You notice how I almost put your market, and then I switched and I stopped myself and I put the, because it was coming from me, not from the business. So I stopped myself. Something to consider. Everybody does it. Am I right, Chef Jonathan?
You are, absolutely.
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just while we're here, I do want to mention we basically talked about location in 3 different places, but we didn't just write location in 3 different places. Doing this SWOT analysis is part of your assignment. So if you're gonna have something very similar, make sure you're telling me why it's different. Why is it both a strength and an opportunity?
And then do you guys see here how we came up with 3 different bullet points for each one of these? You're going to do the same thing for your assignment, which is due on Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Remember, let us know where you found your information. And Wikipedia does not count as a reference, because I could go on there and say that the Queen of England is a 7-foot tall purple polka dot dinosaur, and it will take it. I can make that change. So think about, especially for this class, reliable sources. Another key aspect when we say do not copy and paste is do not copy and paste a link, because I'm going to tell you, when I talk to investors, and I've talked to them like just this past summer, I talked to investors, I gave them a beautiful folder. I gave them a delightful folder, actually something like this. Here, let me stop sharing so you guys can see. I did this, see, ooh, and it has all of this great information about what problems are happening. I got bios in here. I got little business card things. And then you notice, if you put a link here, I can't click on that piece of paper. It doesn't take me anywhere. And if I'm giving this to an investor in a folder at a Starbucks, they're going to want to know what that information is. They don't want just the link. It is great that you put the link in there to tell us where the information was found, but they're going to want to know what was on that in that site, in which now Chef Jonathan will delightfully go into greater detail about your assignment. That is due on Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time.
But none of you are going to wait till Tuesday at 11:59 to submit. Because, because some of these assignments have a lot of moving pieces to them. It's easy to miss something. It's easy to misunderstand something. And when you submit your assignment early, you have time to go back and resubmit. If you wait till the last second, I probably won't be able to return an email. If you're emailing me at 11 o'clock at night on Tuesday evening, I won't be able to get you an answer before that deadline. So start your assignments early. There's a lot of research that goes into a lot of these assignments. So for this entire class, probably a pretty good idea to get going early in the week, Thursday, Friday, get started, and then submit something. That gives me time to take a look, get you your grade back, and if there is anything missing, you can resubmit. Go ahead, Donald.
Yes, so let me ask you this. In reference to, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I chimed in from my daughter's school on the phone, so this is first time on the phone. Yay! So looking at the information that comes from like the Census Bureau or from whatever the city data is or the State Department, whatever we get it from, how current do you want that? Because the demographics, the target that I'm looking at is more of a military installation. So a lot of that stuff is not always going to be provided, but I've got some information from 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Would that be acceptable, or do you want it like as of today?
Nope. You can definitely use 2-year-old information.
Okay.
It's always best to get as recent information as you can.
Right.
However, older information can be valuable too. In fact, if you have several census results, you can actually look at the trend of your area. But
right. The Census Bureau only gave information for the site I used. There's two names, two states with the same site name, but they only provided one, and I didn't want to use that one because it was way out of bounds. I was like, that's too much information. So I'm using one to my advantage of taking the lesser of the degree. Is that okay too? Because I don't want to use another state's information.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, you know what? Why don't I share my screen? So that everyone knows exactly what we're talking about here. So we're talking about this location demographics box. This is the template for your assignment, guys, by the way. And in this box, we are looking for specific numbers. So make sure you're reading over here. It says we're looking for average age, income, home prices, and education level of the people that live in this area. Please do not give me a link. So you're gonna, I love this census.gov website. There's a lot of really fantastic information on there. So the census website looks like this. At the top, there's a search bar. If you type in Omaha, because that's where I am, I'll just click on Omaha City, Nebraska. Brings me over here. And I can find most of this information right here on the right in this quick facts box. Things like median household income, what percentage of the population has graduated from high school or higher, median housing value, So we've got a lot of those numbers that we're looking for right here, but I am actually going to be looking for those specific numbers. And Donald, I know you have your hand up again.
I do, because when I look at the information, it provides me two different things for me, because it does a general populace that's not military, and then it also does the veteran side of the house. And when I look at education, you know, veteran considered against civilian, do you want just a total, or can I just go with one set of numbers and just say, you know, veteran population or something of that nature?
Is your concept going to only be accessible to the veteran population?
If they can get on, if a civilian gets on base, well, then they're good for them. Pretty much it is, but you know, when you become that veteran, you are a civilian too. So, I mean, I already filled this out and I put those numbers in, but I could tally them up and give them waypoints, but I just didn't want to overdo it.
I would say if you're in a situation like Donald, use your best judgment. Use what you think is most relevant.
Yeah, no worries. I do appreciate it though. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so just to backtrack a little bit here. On the class page, you'll click into the assignment and you'll make a copy of this handy worksheet. This is a link, so just click on this. It'll force you to make a copy, and that will come up with this sheet right here. And this is your dream business, whatever that might be. If your dream is not to open a business, dream of opening a business. For this course, choose a business type. So your name, it doesn't have to be anything final. It's not like you're trademarking it for this course. You just want to come up with something. So whatever the name of the business, the type of operation, what we're looking for here is, are you going to be a food truck, a catering company, a restaurant? Give me some idea of what type of business this is. And this does need to be a food service business of some kind, please. How many days a week are you open is pretty self-explanatory. Hours of operation, so if you're open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, that's what you'll say. If you have different hours on the weekend, you'll say Saturday, Sunday, open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., whatever the case may be. Again, this doesn't have to be exact, but all of this information is really important for this class to know about your own business. Crystal, this is found on the class page. So if you take a look at the week 1 class page, scroll down to where that assignment is, click into there, click this, and it'll have you make a copy of that template. Mission statement. Mission statements are kind of tricky. My best recommendation would be go to a bunch of business websites, Google different mission statements, see what mission statements generally look like. But the general idea of a mission statement is this should be a statement of why you exist. What exactly does this business exist to do? And it should be more than, we exist to serve good food. Oh, okay. But why is it that you felt the need to do this? Why does this business exist? You want to serve ethical food. Go ahead, Chef.
I also want to bring up every single business's mission is to make money. So don't put that into your mission statement, because everybody's trying to make money. So remember that part.
Yes, please, Mandy, more than I'm tired of cooking someone else's food. The other thing to remember with a mission statement is it's different from a tagline or something, right? It's not McDonald's, I'm loving it. There's an actual mission statement there that you can find for McDonald's or Arby's or Burger King. So even fast food restaurants have a mission statement. And it's a very critical piece of this of information for that business, because it's going to inform every single decision you make as a business. Everything should go back to those core values that you talk about in that mission statement. So important. Is it going to be perfect in 1 week? Probably not. I'd be shocked. So this should be a rough draft. I'm not looking for perfection, but I'm looking for the general idea here. Should be one sentence, give or take. Can be a little longer, but you want it to be pretty concise. Ideal location, I'm not looking for the mall on the corner. I'm looking for Omaha, Nebraska. If you have a more specific place, if you have an actual address that you're looking at purchasing, that's fantastic and I'd love to see it, but I do want to see at least a city and state. Even if you have a street address, I have no idea where in the United States that street address is, because chances are there's 1,000 Main Street in 1,000 different cities. Mandy, go ahead.
Yes, real quick. I have my concept involves a food truck that I want to be more than just one place. I won't bore you with the details, but I plan on having a schedule, a menu of certain days, schedule. I'll be in certain places, but I want to keep it in the county. If I put Kalapena County, Texas, is that coherent enough, or do I need to kind of list the cities? Would you like me to narrow it down?
I would say the more specific you can be, the better, because this assignment is going to set you up for the rest of this course. And if you choose one of the cities that you're going to be in, you're going to see what all goes into just one of those cities, and all the laws and regulations and all these wonderful things that you have to look into when running a business. And then you can do the same thing for those other cities when you actually go to start opening your food truck. But I would choose one, probably the most populous of the cities that you plan to be in. That'll probably be the easiest.
Yeah, I live in a very rural county, and there's only really one town, one big town. So I'll use it and build out from there. Thank you.
Crystal, laws and regulations are coming later in the course. This assignment kind of sets you up for the rest of the course. That's why it's so important. So
all of the assignments are actually set up to build upon each other. So really stay on top of your assignments, because they're really going to help you throughout the weeks.
All right, so location demographics, we already kind of talked about. We're looking for specific numbers. I don't want to see 53,000 for average income or median income. I want to see $53,789 if you live in Omaha, Nebraska. If your business is going to be here, make sure it's relevant to your city. For me, in Omaha, this would be the number based on the 2017. So style of service, if you're going to be a food truck, that's probably closest to counter service or window service. If you're going to be fine dining, you can say fine dining or table service, or, give me some idea of how you're serving food to your guests. Marketable features. I would like to see at least 2 marketable features. That S on the end is there for a reason. I want to see more than one. And these are general categories. They are not marketable features. If your theme is your marketable feature, what is it about your theme that is so cool that's going to draw people into your business? If your menu is really awesome, that's terrific. I want to know why it's special, why it's going to draw people to your concept. And that's really what a marketable feature is things that you can put out to the community that's going to draw people in to buy your stuff. Seating capacity, this might be 0. That is okay. If you're a food truck and you don't plan on having any seats, 0. If you're going to be a beer bar with 225 seats, well, 225. And these can be estimates. I'm not looking for precise details here, but estimated number of guests served every day. Give it your best shot here. Estimated check average per guest. Again, think about how your menu is set up. Think about what kind of price points you want to be at, and think about what you expect the average person to order. If it's going to be a $5 appetizer and a $10 entree with a $3 drink, your average check is going to be $18. It doesn't have to be too complicated. You can overthink these, and that's cool too, but it really is a guesstimate. And then you're going to go to the second page. We just did this SWOT analysis. Right here, I want you to type your business name. So let's say my business name is Poor John's Pub. I'm just going to write that right here. And you'll do 3 bullet points each for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for your business. And then you're going to do that for some type of competition. I want a specific company. There is food service in your area of some kind. They are your competition. Even if there's not if you're going to be an Indian food restaurant and there's no other Indian food in town, that's okay. There's an Italian restaurant. They're still your competition. No matter how unique your concept is, you have competition. And so you're going to put yourself in their shoes and do a SWOT analysis for their business. Really important skill. And then there's one other quick thing that I kind of skated over here. Write out a concept summary. 2 or 3 sentences. Doesn't have to be too much, but I do want you to make sure you get each of these things in here. And all of this comes from the information you just did up here. So your business name, type of operation, hours of operation, days of your operation, location with the city and state, and the style of service. So if I'm doing Poor John's Pub, my concept summary can be this short. Poor John's Pub is gastropub in Omaha, Nebraska that's open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. with both bar and table service at all times. That quick couple of sentences sets me up to be able to approach these other assignments in a big way. And besides that, it's going to be worth points every week of this course. So you're going to want to keep it handy. Even after you have it written, just go back and copy and paste it into weeks 2 through 6. And it's kind of like having free points because you've already done it. Do you guys have any questions about any of that? Or Chef, if I missed anything?
I just want to bring up Crystal. If you know that there's a food truck company, like food truck that's in your town, you can use them as competition. But like for me, the B&B, there wasn't too many bed and breakfasts in the area. So who do you think I used for my competition?
Hotels.
Hotels. Yes, I used hotels. Anywhere that people are not spending money at your establishment is competition, right? That is competition. And why do you guys think it is important to do it from the competition's eyes, a SWOT analysis?
You know what you're up against?
Yeah, you know what you're up against. You know who has the benchmark, who has the best in what. So then you can figure out, do you like what they were doing? If you don't, then you know what to stay away from for your business. If you do like what they're doing, what is their policies and procedures? Can you implement it into your business? It helps you understand your competition from their point of view, and that will help you with your business to give yourself a third perspective. Sorry, go ahead, Chef.
It also helps because what happens if you turn their weaknesses into your strengths?
Ooh, Chef Jonathan. I'm sorry, what, Marge? Mandy, what was your question?
I don't really have consistent food truck competition that I can compare myself to, but that's okay because, again, I won't bore you with the details right now, but my competition is really more the brick and mortar restaurants. So, would it be all right if I used one of them to?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I do want to do like a family style meal, like a take and bake or a, hot and ready. So the restaurants would be, their takeout aspect would be my competition. Is that something I can do for the purposes of the assignment?
Yeah.
Okay. Yay.
All right. Are there any other questions? And you guys are going to get your knowledge checks in by when?
Saturday.
Saturday. Thank you, Mary Lou. What do you think happens if you don't get your knowledge checks in by Saturday?
Points deducted.
You're going to get a phone call from me. So we're going to get to know each other very well.
You have a lighter on you?
And also, you bring up a fantastic point, Ashley. Knowledge checks are worth points. So do your knowledge checks. They're worth points. Mary Lou, what is your question?
I have a real quick question on the assignment. I've understood everything. My only thing is the location I'm looking at, I'm physically not there at the moment. Is that okay? I know some of the information per se, and thank God for internet. Is that going to be a problem, or
Is
no?
your location in the United States?
It is. It is.
Then yes, that is perfectly acceptable for this assignment. In fact, it's awesome because you can dig into that area and already know what you're getting into when you go there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed their first week 1 live session. Yay! It was fantastic. And if you guys have any questions, remember to, what are you going to do?
Call,
text, email, whatever way it goes. And do it sooner rather than later, right? So that you can actually get your assignments in on time. But we're going to be early, right? Because you guys are entrepreneurs and you think ahead and you guys are going to get it done. Am I right? Who are you going to call? You're going to call me.
Ghostbusters.
Or the 80s versions of Ghostbusters. I would totally call Bill Murray. That'd be awesome. So, I hope everybody has a fabulous, fabulous week. And if you need anything, please reach out and have a great night. Bye, everybody. And
Good
then
night, Chef.